All this work that we're doing, brothers, for this ministry, eventually is going to pay off. You better believe it, man. It's going to pay off like you'll never believe, okay? And by the way, we're the highest value male on this planet. The men of the Lord, the men of this truth, the hopeful elect of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, the highest value male there is.
All right, Shalom. First and foremost, I would like to give all praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shah, Bahashem, Kakodash, double honors unto the apostles and the elders of GMS who rule well, teach well, being great examples to us younger brothers. And peace and blessings, salutations to the hopeful elect out there pushing his word and truth and in sincerity across the four winds in the name of Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shah, pushing to get up out of here. Shalom to the hopeful elect, the believers, the listeners who may have came back to the obedience of the scriptures through faith in Yahweh Bashim Al Shai. I want to do a lamb back, all right, a response to a video done by the elder brothers of Hop, all right, the head of the Mississippi camp down here, and he went into a lesson going into the value of a man, you know, and in parentheses he had everyday man, you know, and this society, you know, has pretty much forsaken, you know, all appreciation, you know, for the everyday man. You know, this is a backward society. And as men of the hopeful elect, you know, men that hope to be joint heirs of Yahweh Shai, the Lord has us at the bottom of the bottom, you know, so we can see the flaws of a wicked kingdom, the flaws of an unjust kingdom. Okay? And the way that men, all right, the average, you know, everyday working man is treated in this society, you know, is unrighteous. You know, and that's one of the things that irked me, you know, the most about this kingdom is just the lack of reverence, you know, for men, you know, that just go do a hard day's work, you know, and those men are pretty much mocked in this society. You know, a lot of men, you know, that do these backbreaking, you know, laborious jobs, you know, are pretty much shitted on by society, man. Okay, the music talks about them. When you hear these rappers talk about, you know, men being broke, they're talking about, you know, not only them broke niggas in the hood, all right, but they're talking about the average working man. You know, this music has made mockery of men. You know, this culture through music has made mockery of men with 9 to 5. Okay, what they call 9 to 5. Okay, this society, all right, has pretty much, all right, just like I say, forsaken all appreciation for just the average working man, you know. And at the end of the day, it is what it is. You know, it's not nothing that, you know, I'm pouting on, but it just as we're learning to be judges, you know, we see, you know, unrighteous dealings, and it make you feel a certain way, and it's just a lesson for us, you know, in our lower state. So Lord will, when we get in authority, okay, we're gonna have a mindset of how to rule from top to bottom with fairness, man. Okay, and equity, man. All right, now everyone, you know, pretty much talks about high value, and you know, you gotta make this much, and you gotta do this, and you gotta do that, and all these different things that they require, because pretty much a man in this society, all right, for the modern woman, which is the modern Western woman, you know, is the most devalued woman to exist. Okay, but society has pushed her to be entitled for so much to where now you gotta be a superhero, okay, just to kick it. All right, and that's how delusional the world has gotten. Okay, but everyone, you know, talk shit about the working man and this and that, you know, like the working man is pretty much invisible in this society. Okay, but when you go into the scriptures, man, one thing about the scriptures, you know, it gives us perspective, you know, of righteousness in every way. So I want to go here. This is the book of Sirach, chapter 38, verse, all right, 24. It says, scholars must have time to study if they are going to be wise. They must be relieved of other responsibilities, because you have, you know, the higher ups in society, okay, and that's what people look at It's high value. When you have these, high paying salary jobs, more executive, work, which that's necessary as well. Okay. But then you have the other side to it. All right. Because those men, they are the thinkers. Okay. They're highly valued, which a great thinker, that's valuable. Okay. But the way that society treats, the laborers as if they have no value, but they have a lot of value as well. And the scripture is going to go into it. It says, how can a formed hand gain knowledge when his only ambition is to drive the oxen and make them work, when all he knows, when all he knows to talk about is livestock? He takes great pains to plow a straight furrow, and will work far into the night to feed the animals. It is the same with the artist and the craftsman who work night and day engraving precious stones, carefully working out new designs. They take great pains to produce a lifelike image and will work far into the night to finish the work. It is the same with the blacksmith at his anvil, planning what he will make from a piece of iron. The heat from the fire sears his skin as he sweats away at the forge. The clanging of the hammer defends him, and he carefully watches the objects, he is working, take shape. He takes great pains to complete his task, and will work far into the night to bring it into perfection. It is the same with the potter, sitting at his wheel and turning it with his feet, always concentrating on his work, concerned with how many objects he can produce. He works the clay with his feet until he can shape it with his hands, and then he takes great pains to glaze it properly, and will work far into the night to clean out the clean. Okay? Now, this is going through these different workers, these different laborers. One thing you see is what their dedication. And like I said, I've been working for a while, man. And, working in plants and different jobs. I even worked on back of a garbage truck, for a while. A little bit over a year and a half. All right, well, that's some hell of a work, man. That's why even now, when I see, sometimes, I tip the garbage man, man. I know what Jake going through back there, man. Okay, well, hey, shit. and one thing about it, you let Jay-Z stop dropping CDs and see how your life changed. But you let them garbage men start running, for a month, we'll see what it is. Okay, those men cutting grass, all right, they can counsel the NBA, and see how that affect your life. All right, but you let those men stop coming and doing landscaping in these condos and these pretty houses and things that you stay at. You let them stop doing that for a month or two. Okay, so the point is, man, there's a level of dedication that the working man has to have, man. I remember being in them plants, working all them long days. Okay. All into the night, getting things done, the job I was working for. And one thing now is I passed through, because over the years I was there for like 11 years, and it's things that I passed through in the city, certain buildings that I passed through, and the work that we did, made those buildings possible, man. That labor, 10-hour days, 14-hour days sometime, man. But now people get to enjoy, those rooftop bars, those resort suites. There was a lot of blood, sweat, and tears went into that, man. There's a lot of blood, sweat, and tears that went into that, man. And just thinking about, the value of all those men that was a part of that, man, from the architect, to the least laborer, how much sacrifice went into that, man. Because people, like I say, speak about high value this and, being on the scene where it wouldn't be no scene. Okay? You wouldn't be able to go to these fancy restaurants, man, if it wasn't for the laboring man. Okay, the everyday man, like the everyday man, you know, brings so much value to the earth. You know, even that's because we speaking about from the working standpoint, from a family standpoint, man. Okay, from the family standpoint, man, we look at, you know, as I'm, you know, as I meditate on, because I meditate on these things now, because I have more time to think lately, as of lately, and I meditate on a lot of things, man, and I think about, you know, my grandfathers, you know, my father, you know, and the Lord had particular men, you know, that will mentor me, you know, in my upbringing, and the value that those men poured into me, all right, it increases on the daily. You know, the value of what those men showed me and told me, okay, those things are extremely valuable. They're way more valuable than the BS we was caught into. Because you look at, okay, these rappers that we were listening to, what do we get? All right, we was going to jail all the time. We was in prison. You know, some of us went to prison. You know, some brothers went to prison. Some brothers in and out of jail. Some brothers, we wasn't gaining any skills. Okay, we wasn't gaining. Listen to T.I. and Jeezy. Okay, listening to them niggas didn't add no value to us, man. It was the everyday man that added value to us, man. Okay, but this society had us worshiping vain men that didn't add no value to us as men. Matter of fact, they set us up for failure, man. How many niggas went to jail trying to trap and be like them niggas, man? Because we all had them trapper, rapper, CEO ambitions, man. Okay? We all, majority of us had those ambitions, man. Okay? And we wasted a lot of our life where we could have been adding practical skill to ourselves as men trying to chase that bullshit, man. You know? And now, as we look back on it, as I look back on it, man, all the value that I have, and being able to run a household, to provide for a family, it came from everyday men, and as we read these scriptures, these things just enhance, the scriptures just enhance, value on a whole nother level. Okay, which these scriptures written by what? Our forefathers, man, who left this wisdom behind for us, man. Okay, but nothing in this society was adding value to us, okay, as men. The things that Esau glorified in this society and presented as prosperity as a man, none of those things added value to us, man. It set us up for failure, man. Now you got baby mamas you don't want. Now you got, now we got time wasted that we wish we could have had back. Okay, all these, even the women, listening to these these industry women and entertainers. What value did it add to you, man? Okay, they set you up for failure. Okay, and that's because this is centered around the man, the everyday man. Okay, but when you go back to our grandmothers, okay, the everyday woman, that's another thing. This society, it made it seem like the everyday woman was plain, like she was outdated. She wasn't, hot in the tail enough. Okay, but nah, man. Nah, man. All right, the everyday man and the everyday woman, all right, is the pinnacle to society, man. All right, we're gonna keep reading, finish it out, and then we're gonna make some more points. This is back in Sirach 38 and 30. It says he works the clay with his feet until he can shape it with his hands. Then he takes great pains to glaze it properly and will work far into the night to clean out the clean. All of these people are skilled with their hands, each of them an expert in his own craft, man. And man, I've worked like the men that I work with, man. A lot of those men, I used to be in awe and how productive and how efficient they was, man. And those men would take me under their wing, and pour into me, and they taught me skills, okay, that benefited my family, man. And then I was in a position to where I can teach other men skills to benefit their family, man. Okay? The everyday man, cause like you say, society was teaching us for setting us up for failure, man. There's a lot of jakes that still in their 30s trying to drop a mixtape but don't have no skills as a man. Okay? Constantly still depending on their mothers and their baby mothers, man. Okay? But nah, man, it's men pouring into men. It's everyday men pouring into everyday men, man. that everyday families are benefiting off of, man. Okay? Verse 32 says, without such people, listen to this. Without such people, there could be no cities. No one would live or visit where these services were not available. Without such people, there could be no cities. Okay? So everybody, want to ball and flex in the cities. If it wasn't for those laboring men, wouldn't be no cities. Okay? Wouldn't be no clubs to stunt. The cars, what do you think those resources, before they even get to the plant, okay, they had to be mine. You see? So it's like, goddamn. In this society, the way they do the working man, it's like, goddamn. These men, like you, especially just, we right being in the trenches with these men, seeing what they go through on a daily basis, man. I have the opportunity to be on a lot of projects, man. See what these men go through on a daily basis, man. It's a lot happen. It's a lot that go on between the time of everyday man wake up, drink his coffee, all right, and the time that he open their garage and come back home. Is so much that went on throughout their day, man. Men risk their lives for jobs paying $18 an hour, man, and it's a possibility they can die. Men working for $18 with jobs, it's a possibility they can die. Okay? You see? Like I say, it's an irksome thing. Just to see the lack of reverence for those men. But in our kingdom, after that 1,000 years, that rigorous captivity, man, the average working man, all right, we're gonna get that. We'll get an account. Okay, the average working man, nah, man, he gonna go home as a lord of his situation, man. He gonna be a lord when he go home, man. Okay, not what we have today. Okay, this is without such people, there could be no cities. No one could live or visit where these services were not available. These people are not these people are not sought out to serve on public councils, or they never attain positions of great importance. They do not serve as judges. They do not understand legal matters. And see, that's going to be our position in the kingdom, as judges and over legal matters, which is the law. All right, what scripture say, we're going to be kings and priests in the earth. Okay, well, guess what? We have the experience as working men to be able to judge, okay, the matters of working men, and to understand that a working man should be appreciated, man. Okay, now we begin to understand these things, man. See, when we, Lord will, we're part, of that elect, man. Those joint heirs, as men. Those first fruits, man. And it's going to aid Yahweh Shai in establishing order and righteousness in the earth, man. And then there's a righteousness coming for the working man, man. Like you say, I meditate on these things and I see how the generous are praised. The generous are praised. Like, then, I say, we ain't, like I say, Eve and Pookie and Ray Ray ain't meant for each other. Like, do your thing. Okay? Well, I'm speaking in the general sense of just how the working man is like, goddamn. Even prison niggas are over the working man. Prison niggas are valued over the working man. All right? Now say I'm lying. Tell me I'm lying, man. Okay? It is off. Crazy as hell. But it had to be like this, man. We had to see these things, and we had to, it had to vex us to where we know, okay, this ain't it. Okay? And it said these people are not sought out to serve on public councils, and they never attain position of great importance. They do not serve as judges, and they do not understand legal matters. They have no education and are not known for their wisdom. You never hear them quoting proverbs, but they work. They do. It said, but the work they do holds this world together. When they do their work, it is the same as offering a prayer. The work that they do hold this world together. If the everyday man wasn't getting up every morning, okay, with some type of dedication, man, all right, to finish their work, okay, wouldn't be no nightlife, okay, wouldn't be no going to Dubai. How? The Dubai, all these things that people love to go do and visit these resorts, wouldn't be none of that. Okay, wouldn't be no cars to drive. Okay, wouldn't be no maintenance on none of those things, man. Okay, and in our kingdom, the working man is gonna have a reverence, man. He's not gonna have the reverence, of kings and priests. Okay, but the working man of these heathens, Esau gonna be out of there. All right, but even the chefs, they're gonna go back to, being sewing clothes, embroidery, men doing embroidery, agriculture. Those men are going to be laborers in the kingdom, those heathens. Okay, they're always going to be laborers under us. All right, but when they go home, man, they're going to be lords, man. In their domain, when they go home, they're going to be lords, man. Okay. So let's go here. I want to get find an account in Esther. All right, because this is when pretty much Vashti, all right, the wife of Xerxes, she pretty much declined, when the king summoned. Okay, and let me see, might be one. And they had a council, the king and his mighty men. Okay, and this is let's go into here. Start at 16. Esther 1-16 says, and Memucan answered before the king and the princes, Vashti the queen have not done wrong to the king only, but also to all the princes and to all the people that are in all the provinces of the king Ahasuerus. All right. It says, for this deed of the queen shall come abroad unto all women, so that they shall despise their husbands in their eyes when it shall be reported. The king Ahasuerus commanded Vashti the queen to be brought in before him, but she came not. Likewise shall the ladies of Persia and Media say this day unto the king's princes, which have heard of the deed of the queen, thus shall there arise much contempt and wrath. Okay, so when you read this in NLT, it said, before this day is out, the wives of the king's nobles throughout Persia and Media will hear what the queen did and will start treating their husbands the same way. There will be no end to their contempt and anger. All right, verse 19 NLT. So if it please the king, we suggest that you issue a written decree, a law of the Persians and Medes that cannot be revoked. It shall order that Queen Vashti be forever banished from the presence of King Xerxes, and that the king should choose another queen more worthy than she. When this decree is published throughout the king's vast empire, husbands everywhere, whatever their rank, okay, whatever their rank, will receive proper respect from their wives. Okay? And there was a righteous decree that went forth, man. All right, under the Persians, man. So how much more, under our kingdom, man? Okay, there's gonna be a reverence, right, for the coming man. Okay, whatever his rank is, it's gonna be a reverence. There's gonna be a particular reverence, man. And as we understand that, hey, these things are needful for a kingdom, man. What laborers do, they're needed. Okay, and then it just, I say irksome just to see the lack of reverence, man. But it is what it is. All meant to play out. How it's gonna play out, man. So Lord will, you brothers, all right, and you sisters edified. Till next time I say shalom. Kwam Yashala Baba Ball GTA soon. Shalom.